I almost wrecked my truck, then got quoted $3,000. And when I tried to fix it myself, RockAuto made it worse. I was driving down the highway and I started hearing a really bad grinding sound. Every couple of seconds, the wheel would jerk to the left. Pretty bad that I had to pull over. Luckily, there was a dealership nearby. I heard the scrapes and the grinding as I slowly made my way to the dealership, which was right off the exit. And that's when I left it there for about 24 hours. The next day, they gave me an estimate of about $3,000 and said that would just be the beginning and that there could be more once they get everything taken apart. So I decided to get the truck towed back to my house, and I would just order parts myself and attempt to do the repair. I made the orders through RockAuto.com for many years, maybe a couple of decades. And they've always had plenty of options. And I just used it because it was my go-to place for ordering parts. When I first took this out of the box, I noticed the writing on the inside of one of the sides of the hub, and I didn't even think too much of it. I just noticed it, but I didn't think it was any big deal because a lot of times car parts coming from manufacturers have writings on them or a signature or a check or maybe somebody who's looked over it, approved it, and so I ignored it. Didn't think twice about it. And then when I flipped it over, I also noticed the dent on the outside, on the other side. But again, I didn't think too much of it in that moment because I thought that was a cover. I knew it didn't look like the hub that I'd taken off the truck because it was closed. And the hub that I took off the truck has all the gears there and it's kind of visible. It's open. And this was closed, so I thought this is just a cover, and there was a dent on it, and I didn't think twice because I thought I'm going to remove that cover anyway. And so I flipped it around, tried to see why does this look a little bit different, and I thought this cover is a screw-on, so I tried to, with my hand, just tried to move it around. It seemed like it was solid. It was on there pretty hard and pretty tight, and there was no way I was going to remove it. It didn't even wiggle. I thought maybe I have to pop it off, but I felt on the sides there was no way, there was no gap or anything for me to remove it. So I figured this is definitely not right. So then I looked up on my phone what the hub is supposed to look like. I looked up my year 2018 F-150 wheel hub, and then I realized one of the search results showed the wheel hub that looked like mine, and it was for a 2015 or 2016. And then I was like, wait a minute, why does my hub look like a different model year? I did more research, and this is when I found out that I actually have a 2017. There was some confusion at some point that the car was sold in 2018 or it was a 2017 model that was sold, and there was a little bit of back and forth where I got confused and I thought I had a 2018. So for the last year or so that I've had the truck, I just assumed it was a 2018. Even when I went to the dealership and they mentioned that it was a 2017, it didn't even register in my mind, and I thought, oh no, it's a 2018, and they could just let it be. They didn't really correct me, and so I just assumed it was a 2018. I've always bought parts and things for the truck for 2018 model, and they work. So I guess for most things, there was no difference. Up until this point, there was no difference in the things that I ordered from between 2017 and 2018. But apparently the wheel hub has changed. And so, when I found out that I have a 2017, I put the wheel hub that I ordered from RockAuto right back in the box and closed the box and put it in my garage. And right then and there, I went on the website, I went into my orders, I processed the return, and that's it. So, I'm going to share with you their response. I got an email from them saying that the return does not follow our return policy, so we cannot process it. And it says that the problem with the return is that it's damaged/installed. So it's either damaged or installed. And as you can see from the video, I pulled it out of the box exactly the way it looked, and I put it right back in the box just a few minutes later. And so if it was damaged, it was that way when I received it, and I obviously could not install it. It says there's marks on both sides from partial install. As you saw in the video, it wouldn't even have been possible to install it. The thing is, I used to trust RockAuto because I've used them for so long and I've never had any problems with the products that they've sent me. Maybe there's scuffs on them, maybe they don't come in the best packaging, maybe they weren't protected along the way and they got little bumps here and there, but I've never had an issue. Everything's always worked. Sometimes I choose the higher quality products that they offer, and sometimes I choose the cheaper quality products that they offer. I know what I'm getting, I know what I'm paid for, and I accept it, and it's fine, and everything usually works. And if it doesn't last as long, it's because I chose the cheaper product, and I'm okay with that. But in this case, I didn't even use the product. I got a product, it was the wrong one, I sent it right back, and I expect them to just take it back. This is what you sent me. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. They have a return policy that allows me to return the product if I bought the wrong one. They don't mention any penalty, but I would have paid a penalty, a couple bucks. Maybe I would pay $10, $20 penalty because I chose the wrong product. I'm pretty sure they would have removed the shipping cost out of the product, and I would have had to pay for the shipping. And that's fine. It was my mistake. But to refuse the return altogether, especially after I explained to them that, no, I didn't cause the dent, was there, and I have video proof of it, and they still are ignoring my emails. They haven't responded to any of my emails for further explanation or to speak to a supervisor or to talk to somebody. They're refusing to communicate with me altogether. They're just going to keep the product and not give me my money back. And that's wrong. And if that's how they treat their customers, then that's not acceptable. I don't know if this is a thing with RockAuto. I'm curious if this is a common issue with RockAuto. I wouldn't be surprised if they just so casually just refuse my return. I feel like they could just do this to just everybody. Any returns they get, they'll be like, it looks bad. Sorry, no money back, no refund. It's ridiculous. So anyways, I lost $270 on this part. So leave me a comment. I'm curious to see if anybody else has had this kind of a problem with RockAuto, and actually with any of the other companies out there. If people have been able to resolve their issue, they don't have a phone number or they don't respond to emails, like how can you get your money back? Anyways, thanks for watching.